Hello, my friends and clients who are business owners. I'm happy to share some good news in terms of our Releif resources for business owners that finally got approved on Friday. And there's a lot of great details around this, so I'm going to try to give you a great summary of the 4 different opportunities there is to receive Releif. So both the Senate and House passed the CARES Act, right? $2.2 trillion stimulus package that offers much needed support to business owners like you and me, right? We're all on the same boat. Eligible businesses who can participate. If you have 500 or fewer employees, you are a borrower that was operating as of February 15th, 2020. You've paid salaries and payroll taxes to and on in behalf of employees through your 1099 forms. You provide good faith attestation that businesses was economically impacted by COVID-19. Seems to me the only real thing is that you have to write a letter or attestation that your business has been affected and explain how your business has been affected. That seems to be like the only big requirement here. The SBA will continue to waive other requirements that is typical of an SBA loan, personal guarantees, collateral, or necessity to seek other loans first. Now, I will tell you, I've been through an SBA loan one time, probably about 10 years ago. I promised myself never again. Felt like I got financially undressed about 3 times, and I've gone for some financial medical examinations. That's kind of what it felt like, I'm talking about here, age 50. But in any case, this one looks significantly easier and better. So the Paycheck Protection Program came out, right? $350 billion available to be able to benefit small business owners. The incentive is to keep the employees on the payroll. That's the gist of it, right? Keep your people, keep your team together. It provides 8 weeks of cash flow assistance through 100% federally backed loans who maintain their payroll throughout this volatile time. So business owners who have the ability to keep their team in play, this type of loan is going to help you specifically when you start understanding the forgivable portion, which is very, very cool. So how much can you apply for? It's the lesser of $10 million or your average monthly payroll multiplied by 2.5. Average monthly payroll multiplied by 2.5 is the lesser of that amount or $10 million. Now, if you got some folks on your team, like Andy here, right? I pay him a lot of money. That makes more than $100,000. You got to cap him at $100,000. So no employee salary above $100,000. It's capped at $100,000. So if you spend this on salaries, wages, retirement contributions, healthcare benefits, covered leave, and other expenses, that's what's all included in payroll cost. Economic injury disaster loans may also be added into this loan. So that's another way to roll it in. And then here's the kicker, the loan forgiveness. During 8 weeks, so if I show you 8 weeks, right? 8 weeks period after the loan is given, you, the borrower, are eligible for loan forgiveness for the money that is used for payroll cost, for interest on mortgage obligations, rent, and utilities. So look at it this way. It's like a forgivable loan for at least 2 months worth of expenses. Not bad at all. Eligible payroll costs do not include, like I said, employees who make more than $100,000. It's capped at $100,000. And then the rest of the loan only has to be paid back over a 10-year period of time, where the interest rate is capped at 4%. The loan is guaranteed 100% by SBA, and that's how the government is administering this help to business owners. For 6 months, the SBA is required to pay all principal and interest and fees on all existing SBA loan programs, including your 7A, Community, Advantage, 504, and microloan programs. So it gives those folks who have a current SBA loan a break and a relief of having to pay any principal and interest for the next 6 months as well. How do you qualify? The employers must maintain their pre-crisis level of full-time equivalent employees or face a reduction in forgiveness that is proportional to the reduction in headcount. Sounds to me like if you had 10 employees before this crisis happened, you kept 10 employees, you get 100% of the forgiveness. You go down to 8 employees, you're getting 80% of the forgiveness. A clause allows the business owners to qualify for loan forgiveness if they have rehired back their pre-crisis levels of employees by June 30th, 2020. Sounds like you started with 10, you moved down to 8, come out of the economical crunch, and by June 30th, 2020, you're back up to 10, and it sounds like you might be able then to get the full loan forgiveness. How do you apply? The application deadline is June 30th, 2020. Thank God, I got to tell you. I just got off the phone with one of our referral source at Seacoast Bank that I refer a lot of our clients for small business loans or business loans to. He said to me, Hilgard, SBA is communicating with the banks that only by about April 8th will they have the systems in play to be able to process all these applications. But here's the word of advice. Whoever you bank with at the moment, go to that bank. They are typically an SBA provider. The Fed, by the way, is approving a lot of other different banks and institutions to become SBA lenders to be able to handle the volume. But the law just got passed on Friday afternoon, signed by the president. Doesn't mean SBA and the banks are already set up for it at this point in time. But as we get more information and quick information, we'll pass on to you as to how the process looks like. But that's what I see in practice at the moment. Another good resource is call your local small business development center or Women's Business Center for guidance. That should be another good sources to be able to find out the details. It's like anything. The government approves it. We're spinning our wheels today, Monday. Maybe by Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll start getting traction. And from that point, we'll be able to kind of figure out how we process the applications. So the program is retroactive to February 15th to help workers who may have been laid off and who are not yet back to work. Payroll taxes can be deferred. So, hey, the proposal was that payroll taxes will go on a vacation. The vacation was hopefully a forgiveness. It's not happening that way. But instead of having to pay your payroll taxes on time like you normally do, you can defer it. 50% can be deferred to 2021 and 50% can be deferred to 2022. But there's not an ultimate forgiveness of the payroll tax here. Then there's a secondary loan. It's called the Economic Injury Disaster Loan. Second opportunity. This is an opportunity to get emergency loans up to $2 million. Eligible businesses are seriously impacted by COVID-19. It can immediately request a $10,000 advance and will receive it in 3 days. The advance never has to be repaid, even if the borrower is not approved for an EIDL loan. Loan can be rolled over into the payroll protection loan. So those who are desperate on dire cash flow situations, here's a way out. You apply online for disaster loan assistance to the SBA Secure Disaster Loan Assistance website. So there's a 1-800 number you can call. It's 1-800-659-2955, or you can email disastercustomerservice@sba.gov. disastercustomerservice@sba.gov. All this information I'm sharing with you via video. We will also send you a Word document with a summary of this information so that you can have it there available as well. Then there's a third program, and this is the Florida Small Business Emergency Bridge Loan Program. So it's a state-oriented program. It's eligible businesses, again, businesses with employees of 2 to 100 employees. It's all businesses located in Florida. Business was established before March 9th of 2020, so that means you and me. And it suffered a negative economic impact due to COVID-19. I'm trying to figure out what business has not, but so a lot of us comply for this one. What is the loan amount and the terms? The short-term loan is up to $50,000. It's interest-free for a maximum of 1 year, and is administered by the Florida Department of Economic Opportunity. Then other provisions in the CARES Act. The bill allows businesses to carry back your losses from 2018, 2019, and 2020 to the previous 5 years. This is pretty cool. Before, you could not carry it back, but now you can. It will allow you access to immediate refunds. It will reduce your tax liability for 2019, hopefully, and give you a cash flow a break, and hopefully radically reduce your income taxes. The bill will fix cost recovery for investments in qualified improvement properties, which will allow businesses that made these investments in 2018, 2019 receive tax refunds now. great opportunity to go see your CPA, talk to your CPA, and let him walk you through and see if you're applicable to these types of benefits as well. The bill expands eligibility and offers workers an additional $600 per week for 4 months on top of what state programs pay. So if there is, unfortunately, folks that you had to let go, know that they are in better hands than they used to be, because the unemployment payment is going to be increased by that $600 per week, and give them an opportunity to land on their feet. Here's another cool provision. We just got this morning as well. So if it was always very, very difficult to access your IRA or your qualified retirement plan without necessarily a 10% penalty if you're below the age of 59 and a half. So there is a law that passed through, CARES Act law here, that says you can go after a loan or a withdrawal from your qualified plan, your 401k or your pension plan or your profit sharing plan, up to $100,000. It used to be only the lesser of 50% of your value, or $50,000. Actually, this was the higher of the two, but now it's raised up to $100,000 without the 10% withdrawal penalty. You can then put the monies back or repay through a loan back to your qualified plan without incurring any penalty. So another bucket that you can put your hands into if you need to without necessarily a penalty. Obviously, you need to be affected by the COVID-19 to be able to have this provision, but it's a good provision. Could work out for you as in another spot. If you have a defined benefit plan that requires large amount of funding, right? These defined benefit plans typically are very inflexible. It requires large contributions. It gives you an exemption to or delay by which you have to get the monies in. So it's delaying until January 1 of 2021. So it gives you time to be able to, for hopefully the economy come back, cash flow to ramp back up, and the deadline is extended to January 1, 2021. Employer must pay interest on delayed contributions from the original due date to payment date using the effective rate of interest for the plan for the plan year that it includes. So if you're going to delay it a little bit, there needs to be a little bit of interest paid, but at least it gives you some cash flow relief on the timing of when contributions have to be in play. Health savings accounts. Many of you have health savings accounts. For our small business owners, we've been promoting health savings accounts as a great way to create an income tax deduction, use money on a tax-free basis. So all telehealth and other remote care services can be covered pre-deductible without violating federal rules for high deductible health plans, paired with a health savings account. So telehealth, teledoc, it's included. You can use your health savings account to pay for those services. So this is only permitted for plan years that begin on or before December 31st, 2021. The expenses occurred after December 31st, 2019. The CARES Act eliminates the rules that limits the use of health savings accounts to prescribe medicine or drugs. So it looks to me like you would be able to use your health savings accounts to be able to pay for teledoctor or telehealth services. Then there's a fourth break. It looks like Facebook is offering $100 million in grants to small businesses as a gift to small businesses, keep them in business. How you can get to this is it's available to 30,000 businesses in 30 plus countries where Facebook operates. This one's going to be probably hard to get. You probably got to jump on this one. The application is not available yet, but the details are available on the Facebook website. So that's a fourth good source for some capital to be able to keep business rolling. What do we do now? Right? You're probably doing this already. If you haven't, this is a good time to do it, right? So you look at the business, you ask yourself the question, what's the skinny budget, right? Your CFO probably is already there. And great time to kind of think through that and get down to it. I know in big economical crises, when I speak to our CPAs, what I often hear they say is that our clients hanged on too long, right? They didn't cut the expenses quick enough. I heard that over and over and over again in 2008. Folks, don't make that mistake. Be conservative. Obviously, through the CARES Act, we're getting rewarded here to keeping our team in play. Nobody knows how long this crisis is going to last, but the one thing we can control is our expenses. So encourage you to do that. Figure out how much money you need to borrow. that you really need to be able to shore up your business, and then look at these 4 different areas where you can access money to be able to do so. Obviously, the best one is the PPP, Paycheck Protection, Payroll Protection Act, I guess, part of that CARES Act. That's where we get the 8 weeks worth of forgiveness for those types of expenses. If it's all possible, keep your talent. It's hard to come by. It's our competitive edge. It's our wonderful people, our team. If you can keep those in play, keep it as much as your team in play. When the economy return, we will have backup demand. I do believe that. And you'll be ready to go and be able to survive. This is a time where obviously the strongest survives, and we see a lot of merger of different types of companies coming together. Maybe there are some people in your industry that are smaller than you or the same size or hurting more than you. See if there's ways to work together, come together. The theme for us in our firm this year is that together we accomplish more. Together we step up, and we'll all lean in as best as we possibly can to be able to do it together. Communicate with your clients, right? So we're trying to do that today, and we continue to do that just to communicate to see how can be of help. Real pragmatic ideas and concepts of how we can make your life better, stay more informed, be connected to what can and cannot happen, and just passing on resources, time just to love on our existing clients, as well as offer help for whoever we can help. Include your employees into the conversation and how to continue to provide value to your customers is a great idea and a great thought. So we sit around our table trying to answer the same question and figuring it all out. And then we lead with empathy, and we ask just simply, how are you doing? You know, how's things going? How is this affecting you? What are you experiencing? These conversations have been wonderful conversations for us to have with our clients. Just encourage you, great conversations to have with your purchasers or your clients that you sell to. We're sending an email this week with all the information we've discussed today and with all links to websites that will make it easy for you to be able to tap onto these resources. I think be patient. Like I said, the SBA system is probably going to come up to line hopefully quick here in the next 2, 3, 4 days, so that we can take advantage of these opportunities to have access to capital. I got to tell you, this is different than 2008 for me. This is real, and this is really, I think, very well thought out, helping out the small business owners. By the way, small business owners, that means companies that have employees of 500 or less, that's 91% of the U.S. economy. So I like the current administration doing what they're doing, helping out where it needs to be helped out, keep people employed and keep everybody intact. If we can help you in any way, shape, or form, more than with what we're talking about today, if you're just concerned about where your business is going, or you're concerned about where your personal finances is, or maybe you are funding a defined benefit plan or a different type of retirement plan, we are available. We are doing these 25-minute Zoom conversations, getting right to the point where we can be of most help to you, encouraging you, giving you your stand, showing opportunities, and communicating some pragmatic steps for the business as well as for your personal finances, how we can come together and hunker through this. Take a lot of time to rest as well. Have great weekends. Schedule some fun. We call it the 1 hour time, or every day should have at least 1 hour of vacation. Obviously, we got to combat our stress levels as well and get through this together. We thank you for the opportunity to serve you and to help you in any way, form we can. God bless and have a great rest of the day.